Today I'm going to be discussing the asymmetrical tonic neck reflex, which is also known as the ATNR. Um, this is a primitive reflex that is seen in infancy and plays a crucial role in the motor development. Um, in this video, the infant demonstrated a classic ATNR response during the passive cervical rotation, when the mom was passively rotating the cervical spine to the right. Baby's right arm and right leg extended while the left arm and left leg flexed. And then whenever mom rotated the baby's head to the left arm, left leg extended, while simultaneously the right arm and the right leg flexed. And the video, was only 30 seconds long, so it occurred very quickly. That is also called like a fencing position. That's a common way to think of it with that. So the reflex was definitely present and functioning as expected. The ATNR emerges at birth and is typically integrated at about 4 to 6 months of age as the central nervous system is maturing. Excuse me. And the infant begins to develop more voluntary and controlled movement patterns. This reflex should not be persistent beyond that time frame. So after 6 months, if it's still there, then that means that it's a sign of any neurological immaturity. To test the ATNR, the infant will be placed supine in that position, and the examiner gently rotates the head from one side, and then the positive response will be shown at that point, and you'll observe that the extremities where the front of the face is facing, that's where you'll see extension, and then on the skull side is where you'll see deflection. So this response should become consistent and symmetrical when tested on both sides. The ATNR is important because it helps the infant begin developing early hand-eye coordination and body awareness. It also supports any of the baby's visual tracking and reaching. However, for more advanced motor skills to develop, this reflex needs to be integrated. If the ATNR is retained beyond 6 months, it can significantly impact any occupational performance. For example, they may have difficulty crossing midline, bringing hand to mouth for self-feeding purposes. Eventually, whenever the child is old enough to be doing any reading or handwriting, implementing handwriting skills, that'll be a significant challenge for them because that reflex is not integrated. So bringing hand to mouth, also like bilateral coordination, is another thing that you'll see any challenges with, in addition to postural control. So on the other hand, when the reflex is properly integrated, the child is able to demonstrate more symmetrical movement patterns, which indicates improved coordination. So with one activity that you can use to address the retained ATNR, it includes just simply having them reach across midline during play. So for this activity, the child can be positioned in a supported seated position, and then you'll typically have the therapist sitting directly in front of the child, facing the child, or you can have the therapist just slightly to the side facing the child. And pretty much you'll just be having toys placed slightly to one side, and the child will be encouraged to reach across their body using the opposite hand. So for example, I have some cute little toys here. So I'll scoot over so you can see better. So here's midline. So as the baby or child, let's say it could be a child that's 1-2 years old, is turning their head to the right, instead of having the right hand extending, you want to encourage that opposite hand to extend, grab the toy, and even have it try to cross midline eventually. And this is typically something you'll have the kid do for a play activity. So you'll just kind of put it to one side, try to encourage the kid to use the opposite side to retrieve the item. And this activity helps reduce the influence of the ATNR by encouraging the child to move the arms independently of the head while promoting midline crossing and bilateral coordination. These are important skills for functional tasks such as play, like I mentioned, self-feeding, as I mentioned earlier, and eventually the handwriting as well. So it typically goes in that order: play, self-feed, handwriting. But overall, the integration of the ATNR is essential for the development of controlled, coordinated movements and supporting the child's ability to successfully participate in meaningful daily activities. So, hope you guys enjoyed the little characters. Y'all have a good one. Thanks.